All right, so are you ready to dive deep into something pretty amazing?
I am.
Okay, good. Because today we're talking about your soul's whispers.
Ooh, I like that.
You know those times you get like a gut feeling,
Yeah.
or you just have this strong sense that you're meant for something more?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to be thinking about those feelings as clues, messages from your deepest self guiding you towards your purpose.
Yeah.
We've got this really incredible audio excerpt
Okay.
that dives into recognizing these soul clues. And honestly, I think you're going to want to take some notes here because by the end of this deep dive, you'll be deciphering these messages like a pro.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
So,
What I think is so fascinating about this whole concept of soul clues
yeah.
is that it really suggests that everything that you experience, your passions, the challenges you face, even just like the sensations in your body,
Right.
they're all part of this bigger puzzle, like a roadmap to your most authentic self.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's like your soul is a master detective, just leaving breadcrumbs for you to follow.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of detectives,
Okay.
the source material uses this awesome metaphor.
I love a good metaphor.
It's becoming a love detective.
Yes.
I love it.
Oh, it's so good.
Kappa.
As your own personal love detective,
Yeah.
you're on this mission to uncover the deepest desires and truths of your soul.
Okay.
So you can think about it kind of like investigating your life with an open heart and a curious mind,
Right.
ready to see the hidden meanings behind all those experiences.
I love that. I love detective.
Yeah.
So where do we even begin with this investigation?
Yeah.
Like, how do we know if something is a genuine soul clue or if it's just like everyday noise?
Right.
I mean, there's so much going on around us all the time.
Totally. Well, think about it this way.
Okay.
Your soul can actually speak through different channels.
Okay.
One of those channels is our passions. The things that like light you up, the things that you could do for hours and lose all track of time.
Mhm.
Those activities, even if they seem small or insignificant, they often hold clues about your soul's purpose.
So like that feeling of pure joy you get when you're lost in like a creative project or helping someone in need,
Yeah.
that could be a soul clue.
Exactly.
Wow.
But it's not just about the good feelings.
Okay.
Our soul also speaks through challenges,
Oh,
like those recurring patterns or obstacles that keep popping up in your life.
okay. Now this is where I need to take notes because you're saying those challenges, those things that we often try to avoid,
Yeah.
they're actually valuable clues.
They are. They're opportunities for growth.
Mm.
Those moments that push you to learn and adapt and evolve,
Okay.
they might not feel pleasant in the moment,
Yeah.
but they often point to areas where you need to stretch yourself
Right.
and step into your full potential.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is really making me look at my own challenges in a whole new light.
Good.
Instead of seeing them as setbacks,
Yeah,
I can start to see them as opportunities to learn and grow.
exactly.
But what about that example from the source material? The one about the salesperson.
Oh, yeah.
Can you break that down for us?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's such a perfect illustration of how our actions,
Yeah.
even in seemingly ordinary jobs, can reveal our soul's gifts.
Okay.
So this salesperson,
Yeah.
in their everyday interactions with customers,
Mhm.
was unknowingly expressing qualities like empathy, a desire to heal, and a natural inclination towards teaching.
So even if you're not in your dream job yet, you can still be expressing your soul's purpose through the way you approach your work.
Precisely.
Okay.
And this is where the love detective comes in.
Okay.
By paying close attention to how you naturally show up in the world,
Yeah.
what energizes you and what drains you,
Mhm.
you can start to piece together the clues
Yeah.
that point towards your soul's true calling.
This is fascinating.
Oh, it is.
It's like we're learning a whole new language.
Totally.
The language of our soul.
Yes.
And the more we practice listening, the more fluent we become in understanding its whispers.
Mm.
But our soul doesn't just speak through our actions, right?
Right.
There's another channel that we need to tune into.
Okay.
The wisdom of our bodies.
Yes.
So we're talking about body whispers,
Mhm.
those physical sensations that could be clues from our soul.
That's right. The physical sensations we experience can also be powerful soul clues.
Okay.
It's all about learning to listen to those whispers and decode the messages that they hold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about body whispers, those
Yeah.
physical sensations.
Yeah.
That could be clues from our soul.
Mm.
This is really intriguing to me.
It is.
What kind of sensations are we even talking about here?
Well, you know how sometimes you might get like a sudden wave of anxiety
Yeah.
or you feel this tightness in your chest
Yeah.
and you can't really explain why?
Right.
Yeah, those could be those soul clues
Mm-hmm.
trying to get your attention.
Yep.
Or maybe you've been experiencing like persistent fatigue.
Right.
or some digestive issues.
Hmm.
Those too could be your body's way of signaling that something deeper is going on.
I've definitely had those kinds of experiences where you
Yeah.
just kind of brush it off as like, oh, it's just stress or something I ate.
Mm-hmm.
But what you're saying is maybe I should be paying a little closer attention to these sensations.
Exactly. Think of your body as this finely tuned instrument
Okay.
that picks up on these subtle energetic shifts and emotional blockages.
Yeah.
And sometimes the only way that it can communicate those things to you
Yeah.
is through those physical symptoms.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But it also kind of makes me nervous.
Nice, Jalen.
Like, what if I start overanalyzing every little ache and pain?
Right. Well, that's where discernment comes in.
Okay.
It's about finding that balance between paying attention to your body's signals
Yeah.
without going down that rabbit hole of worry.
Right.
The key is to approach these sensations with curiosity rather than fear.
So instead of immediately jumping to conclusions,
Mm-hmm.
I should just kind of observe the sensation and be like, okay, what might this be trying to tell me?
Precisely.
Yeah.
And remember, you're not alone in this.
Okay.
The source material actually talks about something called ascension symptoms.
Okay.
And these are physical and emotional experiences
Mhm.
that people often have as they're going through this period of spiritual growth or awakening.
Ascension symptoms.
Mhm.
That's a new one for me. What exactly are those?
Think of them like growing pains,
Okay.
but on a soul level.
Okay.
So as you're shedding those old beliefs and patterns that no longer serve you,
Right.
your body and your energy field
Yeah.
may go through this process of recalibration.
Hmm.
And that can manifest in a variety of ways,
Okay.
from headaches and fatigue to feeling extra sensitive or
Mhm.
having these vivid dreams.
Yeah.
So it could look like a lot of different things.
Wow. This is starting to connect some dots for me.
Yeah.
I've definitely experienced some of those things, especially during times of like major change or transition in my life.
Yeah, that's a common experience. And it's important to remember
Yeah.
that these symptoms aren't necessarily negative. They're simply signs that you are evolving
Yeah.
and expanding your consciousness.
So how do we know if what we're experiencing is like a genuine soul clue
Yeah,
and not just like a cold or something?
that's a great question.
Yeah.
That's where your intuition comes in.
Okay.
You really have to trust your gut feeling.
Yeah.
Does the sensation feel different from just a typical physical ailment?
Right.
Is it accompanied by maybe like a sense of knowing or a deeper message?
Hmm.
Really pay attention to those subtle cues.
Okay. And what about those times when we just can't figure it out on our own?
Yeah.
Are there any tools or practices that can help us decode these body whispers?
Absolutely. The source material suggests several practices like
Mhm.
meditation, journaling, and energy work.
All right.
Meditation can help you quiet the mind
Yeah.
and tune into your body's subtle signals.
Okay.
Journaling can be a really powerful way to process your emotions
Yeah.
and gain clarity on what your body is trying to tell you. And then energy work, like Reiki or acupuncture,
Mm-hmm.
can help to clear blockages
Right.
and restore balance to your system.
Yeah. Those are all great suggestions.
Yeah.
I've personally found that spending time in nature can also be incredibly grounding
Oh,
and
yeah.
help me to connect with my body's wisdom.
That's beautiful.
But here's a question I have.
Yeah.
We've talked about how our soul speaks through our passions,
Mm-hmm.
our challenges in our bodies.
Right.
But are there any other channels we should be aware of?
You're right. There is one more channel that's often overlooked.
Okay.
Synchronicities.
Synchronicities, what are those?
Those are those seemingly coincidental events or encounters
Okay.
that feel like they're just meant to be.
Right.
You know those times when you're thinking about someone and then they suddenly call you?
Mm-hmm.
Or you stumble upon just the right piece of information at just the right moment?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Those moments always feel so magical.
They do.
And they always make me wonder if there's like something bigger at play.
Exactly. And those are often signs
Yeah.
that your soul is guiding you, orchestrating these events to kind of nudge you in the right direction.
Okay, so if we pay close attention to these synchronicities, they can actually reveal clues about our soul's path.
Precisely, think of them as messages from the universe, confirming that you're on the right track or pointing you towards a new opportunity.
Okay.
The key is to be open to noticing them
Yeah,
and trusting the guidance that they offer.
this is blowing my mind.
Yeah,
We've covered so much ground already.
I know, right?
We talked about our soul speaking through our passions, challenges, bodies,
Mm-hmm.
and even through synchronicities.
Yes.
It's like we're peeling back the layers of a mystery and uncovering the truth of who we really are.
I love that.
But I have a feeling we're not done yet.
Or not.
There's still more to explore, right?
You're absolutely right. Now that we've identified the different channels through which our soul communicates, the next step is to talk about how to interpret these clues
Okay.
and what to do with the insights we gain.
All right, let's do it. So we've learned all about how our soul speaks to us,
Right.
through our passions and challenges, our bodies, and even through synchronicities.
Yes.
But how do we actually put these clues together
Yeah.
and decipher what they mean?
Right.
It's like
I-
we've got all these pieces of the puzzle, but now we need to figure out how they fit.
I love that analogy.
Right.
Yeah, it's where your inner love detective really comes in handy.
Okay.
You've gathered all the evidence, right? Those soul clues that we've been talking about.
Right.
And now it's time to kind of start piecing them together to see the bigger picture.
Okay. I'm game.
All right.
Let's say I've been feeling drawn to creative writing,
Okay.
but I also keep hitting these roadblocks in my career.
Mm-hmm.
And lately I've been having these recurring dreams about being lost in a forest.
Interesting.
How would I even begin to interpret those clues?
Well, first remember that there's no one right way to interpret these clues. It's really about tuning into your own intuition and seeing what resonates with you.
Okay.
But here's a framework you can use.
All right.
You can start by asking yourself, what is the common thread running through these clues?
So in my example, the common thread seems to be this desire for creative expression and a feeling of being kind of stuck or lost.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then you can delve a little deeper.
Okay.
Ask yourself, what might my soul be trying to tell me through these clues?
Maybe my soul is nudging me to pursue my passion for writing, but also showing me that I need to find a way out of this career path that's no longer fulfilling.
Yeah.
And maybe those dreams about being lost are like a metaphor for feeling like I'm not living in alignment with my true purpose.
That's a powerful insight.
Wow.
And notice how you're starting to connect the dots and see that bigger picture.
Yeah,
That's the magic of this work.
right.
It's not about having all the answers right away.
Yeah.
It's about embracing that process of exploration. Mm-hmm.
And trusting that the more you pay attention to these clues, the more clarity you will gain.
That's such a relief because I think sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves to have it all figured out.
Absolutely.
And that can actually block us from receiving the guidance that we need.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the biggest obstacles to deciphering our soul clues is self-doubt.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, we might get a flash of insight or a gut feeling,
Right.
but then we talk ourselves out of it because it seems too big or too scary
Right.
or too different from what we think we should be doing.
Yeah.
So it's really about getting out of our own way.
So how do we overcome that self-doubt and start trusting our inner wisdom?
Well, the source material actually talks about self-permission.
Okay.
It's about giving yourself permission to explore your soul's desires without judgment or limitations.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
Self-permission.
Self-permission.
It's like giving ourselves the green light to follow our hearts and see where they lead us.
Exactly.
But I have to ask, what if we interpret a clue wrong?
What if we make a decision based on what we thought was a soul nudge, but it turns out to be a dead end?
That's a great question, and honestly, there are no wrong turns on this journey.
Okay.
Even if a decision doesn't lead you where you expected, it still provides valuable experience.
Right.
And it teaches you something about yourself.
So it's more about the journey than the destination.
Exactly. And remember, your soul is always guiding you.
Mm-hmm.
Even when it feels like you've taken a detour,
Right.
trust that every experience, every challenge, every mistake
Yeah.
is ultimately leading you closer to your true purpose.
This is so empowering.
It is.
It takes the pressure off needing to have all the answers
Yeah,
and allows us to just embrace the unknown with curiosity and excitement.
I love that.
As we're wrapping up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay.
Imagine you're holding a compass,
Mm-hmm.
and instead of pointing north,
Yeah.
it points directly towards your soul's truest desires.
Ooh.
What would it feel like to follow that compass, to trust its guidance completely, and to allow it to lead you to a life that is aligned with your deepest purpose? That's the power that you hold within you.
Yes.
The power to listen to your soul's whispers and create a life that truly lights you up.
Beautifully said.
And remember,
Yes.
you're not alone on this journey.
We're not.
We're all in this together, exploring the mysteries of our souls and supporting each other along the way.
Yes.
Share your insights, your struggles, and your triumphs with others. The more we connect and share our journeys,
Yeah.
the more we illuminate the path for everyone.
That's a beautiful thought.
Until next time, keep exploring,
Yeah.
keep listening, and keep following those soul clues.
Yes.
They're leading you to something truly extraordinary.